Today we're going to be talking about expressions. We're going to be learning about expressions. I really love this topic. I love talking about expressions. I love talking about how important they are. Because I find that expressions can be kind of tough. What? Oh, that's right. I need to change my shortcuts. Hello, Cupcake or Fia, welcome in. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about expressions. We're gonna be talking about how to make expressions, how to make them fun, how to make them fluid, all that fun jazz. Hello, Gigi, welcome in. So yeah, let's get into it. But before we get into it, we all know what's gonna happen. Let me just load the files up because that's the one thing I didn't prep for some reason. But yeah, hello. Hello. If you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for our class offerings, where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are an art school too. So if you'd like to support us, so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots, so be sure to check this out before they are gone. Okie dokie. One of these days I'll get an actual mic. It'll be pretty sick. The very expressive oval eyes. Yeah, my gremlin. Yeah. Hello, Riley. Welcome in. Yeah, my gremlin. So, expressions. Talk a bit about them. We're in CSP today. Because I think the final illustration, y'all always want me to do something scary. The final expression, by the way, is going to be fear or shock. You guys always want me to draw something scary. I really wanted to do something angry. I love drawing anger. It's like my favorite thing ever. You live, Bones Knight, welcome in. Expressions. I changed a bit of the settings on this brush, and this brush works beautifully now. Expressions are delicate. Every aspect of the face and body contribute. My handwriting looks pretty good today. Contribute to an overall emotion. Hey, you're on time and you can stay late. Excellent. Love to see it. Welcome in, Marlene. Unsettling anger? Dude, I totally would, but that's not what I said that I would do fear, so I'll do fear. It's fine. So expressions are delicate. Every aspect of the face and body contribute to an overall emotion. When we are drawing our expressions, we want to make sure that every single aspect of the body and the face are taken into account. Right, we're going to be focusing on the face today. We're not really going to be focusing on posing, because it's a whole other lesson. So we're going to be focusing on just the face today. Because I find that facial expressions are something that a lot of people don't really work with. Or at least they don't really push them as far as they could. All right. The number one thing, you agree? Excellent. The number one thing that I always say when it comes to expressions, right, is that you should not, I don't like saying don't do stuff, but for this I'm definitely going to say, so I always say, like, don't. I'm going to do this in another color, actually. This is how serious I am. It's going to be another color. Because I see this all the time, and it makes me really sad. It's don't sacrifice a good expression for aesthetic. I'm the type of person who sacrifices everything for aesthetic. Right? Unfortunately, when it comes to expressions, when we work with expressions, we want to make sure that we are keeping our faces nice and fluid. A lot of the times, often see newer artists shy away from uglier expressions. Come on. There we go. Doesn't make the character look good, quote unquote. This tends to make the expression stiff. I can just, let's do that in another color too. Right, so a lot of the times when I see people trying to do expressions for the very first time, hello Raven Esper, welcome in. When I see people doing expressions for the very first time, a lot of newer artists or artists who are a bit more hesitant to work with, you know, quote unquote uglier uglier expressions, you know, sadness, anger, two of the big ones. Oftentimes they reel them back to make the character still keep their aesthetic of looking good. This makes the expression extremely stiff. You see this a lot with newer anime artists, right? Where it's like, a lot of the times, I'm lurking behind. Hello, welcome in, right? But yes, it tends to make the expression stiff, like really, really stiff. And what I mean by that is like a lot of the times people will like, they don't want to furrow the eyebrows as much. They don't want to add wrinkle lines in the face. They don't want to add so on and so forth, right? Not adding those in kills an expression. It really does. You see that a lot with with anime artists. Absolutely nothing wrong with anime artists. But a lot of the times they will sacrifice the expression for the aesthetic. And what that does is it ends up making the face really, really stiff. Right? Whether that's keeping the mouth the same size no matter what, whether it's keeping the eyes the same size no matter what, whether it's not changing changing like the shifting bits of the face, right? You want to move them. You want to move them around. You want to make them, you know, interesting. So, there are two types of expressing emotion you can make, right? One is that's written all over the face. Second, it's all in the eyes, subtle expression. Which are you choosing? I'm going to be talking about all of it. You're getting ahead of me. I wouldn't say that it's one or the other. I would say that it's good to have a spectrum. But we're going to be talking about all of it, Marlene, don't worry. Daria, can you check something for me real quick? Can you see if there's more than one stream running on the channel right now? Because there was some weird stuff happening before stream. I want to make sure that nobody's lost. But yeah. Anyway, so don't sacrifice a good expression for aesthetic. These are the main points, like in terms of just writing, that I'm going to be talking about. The thing with what Marlene pointed out is that Shirley check, thank you. The good thing with, or the thing that Marlene pointed out, is that you can do any of those. It just depends on how you move around the different portions of the face. So we're going to be talking about those different portions of the face today. Because as long as you know how to move around the face, you're golden. Because there are certain points that you want to focus on the most. Hi, hello RK Cubes, welcome in. Oh man. Can one of y'all help me? Do you know where the... Actually, you know what? It's fine. I don't need it. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, can you show me the symmetry? I'm like, I don't need the symmetry for this little doodle thing. It's just gonna be the face. If you could tell me for the future, that'd be sick. But I don't know where it is, because it's not just a little button up at the top here. Then let's do purple, the eyebrows. Let's do green for the nose. Let's do red for the mouth. Just this one? Okay, excellent. Call me Millie. Understood. We'll definitely do that. I've arrived. Hello, Salty. Welcome in. Symmetry's under rulers. Okay, thank you. I will keep that in mind for later. Okay. Excuse me, Mom. Oh, that's right. What's it again? It's M, right? Yeah. I need to change that. I'll do that after the whole thing, before I forget. Hello, welcome in, Dakota. Yeah, I'm excited about this one too. We talked a bit about some stuff previous already. We're gonna get into, these are like the basic things we need to worry about, right? These are like the really, really basic stuff. If you're working with expressions, this is like the baseline, what you should be worrying about. Okay. So, in my opinion, this portion of the face is 100% the most important part. It's your eyebrows. Eyebrows are like one of the most expressive parts of the face, and it's also one of the most delicate. I keep throwing that word around, delicate. When I say something that is delicate, it means that one little shift and it's going to be wrong. Right? If you have an expression, every little angle of that expression matters. Every little bit that you add into that expression matters. If you shift your eyebrows just slightly off, it's going to be a completely different expression. I promise you. Eyebrows are probably one of the most difficult parts of the expression because you can angle them, you can change them, you can do whatever, but if it's angled slightly wrong, that expression is going to change instantly. I'm going to demonstrate how that works later. But eyebrows, you can like furrow, you can raise them, you can like have them at odds with each other, you can have one raised, so on and so forth, right? Eyebrows are very, very expressive. There's another reason why they're really expressive is because eyebrows kind of tend to move on their own. It's the thing that, what did you say for me to call you? It's the thing that Millie mentioned earlier, Marlene, what Millie mentioned is the very subtle, kind of like you could see it in the eyes. You can see it in the eyes. More often you can see it in the eyebrows. A lot of the times, like people's eyebrows will furrow, they'll raise slightly, they'll do whatever, right? It's a very instinctual thing that our bodies do. And that's why eyebrows are one of the most expressive portions of the body. You can have your eyes, you can keep your eyes kind of stiff, but you'll notice that people's eyebrows will twitch. The eyebrows will twitch, they'll kind of move. It's always a tell, which is why eyebrows tend to be really, really important. Hi, Kenny, welcome in. What I wouldn't give to draw. My computer's not reading my tablets. All the buttons are wonky. I want to yeet everything into the sun. Oh no! Traditional is always an option. He enjoys drawing dragon-like creatures without eyebrows. They don't have eyebrows, they have eyebrow bones. Your eyebrow bones are going to be what you want to focus on instead. You can also have plating. Plating can mimic eyebrows instead. That's usually what I do. Your eyes! Ugh, I keep forgetting it's M. Hello, welcome in. Project Sekai player. So eyes are also very delicate. So that's viewpoint. Or viewpoint? It's not viewpoint. It's direction. Line of sight. Oh my god. Line of sight. Line of sight. Pupil size. Iris size. Eyelids. Need to see. Right, so eyes are also really, really delicate. Should be used. Best in combo with brows. So your eyes are also really delicate, right? When you're drawing your eyes, one thing that I actually see a lot of people mess up, which is something that you wouldn't think people mess up on, but it's very, very common, is line of sight. Sometimes your eyes just are not looking in the correct direction. So please double check that when you are drawing your eyes in. You want to double check your line of sight, make sure that they're looking in the same direction, or in the proper direction, at the very least. Your pupil size, pupils are also something that you can mess around with as a cartoonist. Pupil size, sometimes just adding in a pupil or taking them away does a lot. Iris size, so your pupil is the black dot, your iris is the colored portion, right? Sometimes your iris is also just as small as the pupil. Sometimes the iris gets really big, so on and so forth. Again, mostly a cartoonist thing. Eyelids, are they half-lidded? Are you squinting? Are your eyes wide open? Eyelids do a lot. I'm not going to be going over eyes because even though I think that eyes are not as delicate as eyebrows are, eyes have a whole section onto themselves. We've talked about eyes a couple times, so I'm not going to go over them again. But eyes themselves, tough to get right. And they are obviously best in combination with eyebrows. So usually if your eyebrows are doing an expression, your eyes should be matching it. It's very much, it depends on what expression you're going for, but usually that tends to be the deal. The nose. Let me look at the chat for a moment. So you're going to be a live stream, or do you teach classes about expressing through the eyes? Because that might be complicated to do. I'm going to do a mini demo about how you can shift little bits with the eyes. Really, it's hard because there's a lot of ways that people can express themselves. Like, expressing just through the eyes is something that is different per person. That's more about characterization. So, I have done a stream about eyes. I've done a couple. But we're going to talk just generally how you would shift expressions on a face, whether it's subtle or not. But yeah, we're going to go over these sections of the face first, and then I'll do that bit. Some people have these eyes, doesn't look like they're looking at you. Yeah, you'll see that a lot with beginner anime artists, where it's like they'll have you'll have the two eyes, the very boxy ones. That's the one that I see a lot, that are kind of drawn like this. But then they draw them very much like that. And it really does kind of have that bug-eyed feature where they look into the other side. When you're drawing eyes, you need the eyes to be kind of looking inwards. If you kind of look in a mirror, you'll know, or not in a mirror, but if you take a picture of yourself looking directly into the lens, you'll see that your pupils kind of go inwards a little bit. Those are kind of looking off to the side there. But you'll want your pupils to be somewhat towards your inner corners of your eyes. Somewhat. Delicate, though. Your nose! Nose is a weird one. Nose is not as delicate. But helps enhance expressions. Greatly. Your nose will control facial wrinkles. So the bridge of nose, laugh lines. What else does the nose do? The nose can... And nose also just does general expression. With the nostrils. So noses are not as delicate. Compared to the eyebrows and eyes, like the nose doesn't really... You don't have muscles where you can like really move the nose back and forth. It's like whatever. It's kind of stuck there. But your nose is what helps, or the area around your nose. And like if you kind of scrunch your nose up, right? Your nose will control different areas on your face that will assist in enhancing the face. The nose is something that a lot of artists ignore. It's something that a lot of people who don't really work with expressions a lot ignore, because artists don't like drawing in laugh lines. Your laugh lines are these. Those are really important for expressions. Obviously, don't draw them as long as this if your character is not that old, right? But you're going to have a little bit of them. You're going to have a little bit of it for disgust, for maybe extreme happiness, for some sadness. You're going to have a little bit of that in there. You're also going to have some stuff on the bridge of the nose, up here, between the eyebrows where it's furrowed, right? Your nose will control those areas, because if you don't have those laugh lines, it smooths out the face. And what that does is it stiffens up your expression. Your face is liquidy. Touch your cheeks. They are very squishy. So we want to make sure that we keep in that squish of the face. Nose is best for twitching or grimace. Noses are just good for everything. Noses will assist you with everything. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. your nose. One of my favorite things to do with like relief is to bring in the wrinkles right here and some furrowing right here, because you can get a really good like you've just been done sobbing a lot. That's a really good expression that you can do. Really shrink down the pupils, but keep the sclera really nice and open. Eyebrows really high up, kind of like that. We'll talk about anguish in a bit as well. But yeah, so the nose is not as delicate, but it is really good for helping push your expressions. Then you have the mouth. Your mouth is like considered the basic source of expression. Not necessarily. It's like somewhat delicate. But it's somewhat delicate. It should be and. Has a wide range. Don't be afraid to stretch and wrinkle. I'm late for 22 minutes. You're all good, Drew. Welcome in. But yeah, so your mouth is considered your quote unquote basic source of expression. Your mouth, you know, when they say you're happy, the corners of your eyes pop up. When you're sad, the corners of your mouth pop down. Right? That kind of jazz. The mouth is like the easiest thing to read. That's why it's considered like the quote unquote most basic source of expression. You can tell when someone's laughing just by looking at the mouth. It's somewhat delicate. It's not as delicate as eyebrows or eyes, I think. But it is delicate still. If you kind of get the, especially if you're more delicate with your expressions, like you want a really certain amount of pushing with your expressions. Um, if the corners of your mouth are drawn just slightly off, it's going to change that expression, so on and so forth. But it's hard to change outright just by a little bit. But it will change it a fair amount. And the mouth has a wide range. This looks like an M. The mouth has a wide range, right? You can do a lot with the mouth. You can make the mouth get really small. You can make the mouth get really big. You can change up how the mouth is placed on the face a little bit, depending on how much of a cartoonist you are. Don't be afraid to stretch and wrinkle. Didn't we do Photoshop last stream? We did. It's CSP today. This is Clip Studio Paint. I just have Clip Studio Paint set up to look like Photoshop. So it's like it's still a this is still a different, it's a different software, but it looks like the other software. When I'm working in both, I want them to be streamlined, so I don't want to have to relearn a new thing every single time. But yeah, so don't be afraid to stretch and wrinkle. The exact same thing with the nose, but the mouth is a bit more crucial. So with the mouth, again, a lot of the times you'll see people like, oh, I'm gonna draw the mouth really wide open, and then they like, you know, they have the mouth really wide open, but there's no wrinkles on the side of the mouth. There's no effect to the nose. They didn't drop the jaw. That's another one. If your mouth is super open, the shape of your head is gonna change. Remember that squash and stretch? It applies to illustration as well as it does animation, right? So we want to, if we are making the mouth really, really wide, we want to make sure that we are dropping that jaw down, making the shape of the head different. Because remember that our jaw is like on a hinge. It's at the back near our ears. You'll see this a lot with more restrained emotions, right? If you have like a character who was meant to be a bit cuter, you have their mouth opened and it's like you have the little nose there and you keep the mouth just kind of like that, right? That's cool. That's great, right? They're not really changing the shape of the head, not really doing much. It works, right? You can tell that they're like, this is good for like if they're just generally kind of yelling. If you want to push that, first of all, drop the jaw. Gonna make it nice and wide. Really put it at the edges of the mouth. You can even kind of extend how the jaw is drawn. Show the teeth. Teeth are really, really important. Back of the throat. Add some laugh lines there. If you have the nose, wrinkle it a bit here. You're gonna have a little bit under the eyes. Really push those eyebrows, have a little bit of wrinkle between them. Sorry, I'm getting really into it. I like drawing expressions a lot. This is why I like anger. This is why I was hoping for anger, because anger is one of my favorites. All right, push it. Make it extreme. Add in lines, add in wrinkles, add in, there's going to be a lot that you need in an expression. That this is good, this is better, right? I don't say that because technically sometimes you want that restrained expression, but if you're going for extreme anger, this is okay, this is better. It depends on what you're going for, but do not be afraid to stretch and wrinkle the mouth. Don't be afraid to push it and pull it, whatever. I need better notifications when you're live. You could turn on the bell on our channel. Hit that bell button, guys. Really smash that bell. Make it so that you can hear it across the world. But hello, welcome to Nia. I could do that. You could. But yeah, don't be afraid to squash and stretch that face. The face is really, really important. Every single aspect of the face works together. So this is like, hear me out, alright. This is like more restrained. Push. I'm here, hello. Welcome in, Chipster, welcome in. Oh, I need to change that. I swear I did. Smash that bell, yeah you did. I'm eating chewy chips ahoy, nice. You didn't miss too much. We're actually almost at the end of the written portion. But we're gonna do a mini demo as well, so this is gonna be just a smidge different. You make my expression for that. Depends. What's your emotion? But yeah, so the mouth is a basic sort of expression, right? So don't be afraid to stretch and wrinkle, right? I know we want to keep our characters beautiful, but if we have somebody who's going crazy, going unhinged, right? We don't want them to be beautiful. When you go kind of insane, you're not going to be pretty, right? So if you go a little bit, if you're losing it, if you're like sobbing, you're not going to be pretty, man. Like, that's just not how it's going to work. So you want to kind of uglify that face a bit. I know it's tough, it's rough, right? I know we love our attractive characters, and so do I, but I love making attractive characters cry. So don't be afraid to stretch and wrinkle. And as an attire, as a whole, what we want to keep in mind. Let me later show you the cover that just released. All right. Activate a monkey mode. As a whole, all aspects of the face work together. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. All aspects of the face work together. One area. Is it effect or effect? Damn it. I'm going to say the A. I think that's right. Sound effects. Yeah. So one area will affect. Wish for banana. Valid. The cheeks, jaws, that goes with the mouth. That whole area, just like the jaw. The mouth is the jaw, the cheeks are the jaw, and then, it kind of follows around that area, right? So the mouth area. In fact, yeah, I figured. Who doesn't simp for their own OCs? Depends because I write kids, so I shouldn't. But the adults, yes, absolutely. It's a crime if you don't. Effect is right. Okay. Yeah, I started to think of like sound effects. And I'm like, which one does it? Because I know the sound effects is with an E. Okay. As a whole, all aspects of the face work together. One area will affect the others. So let's demonstrate that. Let's demonstrate that. So usually how I do this is I draw one expression. This one has to be done live, or you have to watch me do it, or else it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll have to come up with a way so that you can see this afterwards too. Yeah, I changed my brush to pressure by opacity because that's how I like my brushes. I'm a monster for liking pressure by opacity. No, I shouldn't do that. That's I also would rather not. I'm no longer a minor. That's a weird workaround for me now. Have you watched Spider-Man No Way Home? Are you into Marvel even? I am not. I don't mind Marvel. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I have not watched No Way Home either. I will eventually. Probably when like I have the time or when my family's like, "Hey, you want to watch No Way Home?" I'm like, sure. But I'm not like obsessed with Marvel. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of superhero stuff. It's just never been my cup of tea. Totally fine if you are though. I have watched all the Avengers. Again, it's like they're entertaining, but it's nothing that I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, it's nothing I'm obsessed with. you know? Okay, so let's say if we're doing, I'm just gonna do like my basic kind of, if we're doing anger, we're gonna do a pushed expression because pushed expressions are the ones that people tend to have the most issues with. I'm gonna work with this really basic face shape because there's a lot that I could do with different facial expressions, but it depends on how I'm working with them. Are you spoiled about No Way Home? Do I have spoilers? No. I mean, I kind of know what happens, but I generally just don't care. I've been playing Pokemon. I caught my first shiny yesterday. It was a random encounter. It was a Staravia. I was farming for Vivichokes, and then I was like, I heard a sound I hadn't heard before, and then I turned around and there was a shiny Staravia, and I was like, yo, what? I caught it instantly. I was so excited. Okay. Just don't forget the wrinkles around the eyes. Furrow those eyebrows. Really point them. By the way, when you're drawing anger, if you have an eye, this is how nice and delicate the eyebrows are, right? When you're drawing an eye, this is anger, right? Kind of turned down. If you just kind of carefully lift the corner of this eyebrow up a little bit, this is a little bit more pained. So the more you turn up this corner, the more pained the expression looks. Right? So if you have it turned up a little bit, that's pained. If you have it turned mostly down, that's just pure anger. That's how delicate they are. Letting you know. That's the number one thing that I've learned when I was younger and I've kept with for my entire life. This isn't the final illustration, by the way. This is still me just kind of demoing a little bit. I'm just kind of get this expression right on the first go. So I don't have to redo anything too much. Confused eyebrows? Confused is like one down, one up. Again, that changes. Like if you have like a kind of upset confusion, you can have one eyebrow like this. If you have like more angered confusion, then it's like that. If you have like more like pained confusion, it can be like that. Confusion is also a very delicate expression. Again, everything when it comes to expressions is delicate. You got to be really careful. And let's push this jaw. Because right now we're going for something a bit angrier. Don't forget your teeth. Lots of people are afraid of teeth. Don't be afraid of teeth. Teeth are what really help expressions. But this is actually off, so I might want to push this over a smidge. Anyway. Cool. Oh my god, what is my brother doing? Actually, you know what? He's building his PC, but he's being loud about it. Okay. So yeah, really push that mouth open. If you're working realistically, obviously there's more rules you have to follow in terms of, like, I can make these tinier. It's really, yeah. I could even shake the pupils a little bit. Yeah. Small things, very, very tiny things will help an expression. Okay. Don't be afraid of teeth. Sounds like a biblically accurate angel quote. True. If you're drawing any Vulcans, it's not hard not to make them look not angry, yeah. I mean, you could just, every Vulcan is just kind of like, you know, not too much to do there. Unless if it's Spock, then Spock's like the half-human kind of deal. Only be afraid of teeth if they're aimed to harm. True. Hello, how's it going? Not too bad, Art Cat Draws. Welcome in. There's angry and there's feral deranged. Is there a difference? Does it rely on context? Relies on context, relies on how you draw it. Every expression is going to, when you draw it, I can't do I can't do demos for every single expression. Anger is considered an umbrella term. Every like expression underneath it depends on how you want to express it and like how you want to show it, and that's gonna have to, you're gonna have to use a lot of references. The more specific you get with the references, the harder it's gonna be to find a reference. Yeah, the more specific you get with expressions, the harder it's gonna be to find a reference. So really what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to memorize how to move around each aspect of the face, and then you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. It's a lot of that. It's like, it's annoying and it's rough, but that's literally how it goes. Okay. You can even do is I'm kind of breaking it down. Really stress out the neck a bit. Okay. It should not have taken that long, but it did. I went a bit overboard. Okay, so let's say we've got this expression here. Can I not, like... Why can't it just... Okay, it's fine. Okay. Yes. What's the shortcut for this? K? Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that too. Okay, so let's say we have this expression right here. Volks have the angled eyebrows. Oh, true, you right. So it's just the... Yeah. I haven't watched Star Trek in a while. Hi, hello, welcome in, Diva-kun. Okay, so let's say we've got this expression, right? We've got something a little bit angry. We're gonna play with it. So, this expression, you know, eyebrows downturned, right? This person's shouting. They're doing a lot right now. They're kind of a little bit angry. So you can change just one little thing. Right, let's change the eyebrows. That's always the thing that I like to change first. If I just kind of upturn them a little bit. Again, the anguish. Now this one kind of feels a little bit more like they're crying out for help. Right? This one feels like they're cussing somebody out. This one looks like they're like, oh no, kind of deal. Right? Just with a slight shift in the angle of the eyebrows. All right? That tiny shift did so much. Right? If you wanted them to look a little bit less intense, you could change the size of the pupils. Or the irises. You can make them a little bit bigger. This is actually incorrect. This is not looking the correct direction. It still is not, so let's just fix that. Delicate, tiny, tiny bits. Okay, wait. This is why it's usually better to draw them at the same time. Okay, yeah. So you can even change the size of the pupils. That changes the expression a lot too. If you kept them at that tiny little bit, at that tiny shape, then it's a lot more intense. Right? But just that tiny shift in the eyebrows changes a lot. Able to do a yelling, angry expression with a Pennywise type face just out of curiosity? I totally could, but not right now. This is not a request stream. You can ask me questions, but not drawing requests. Right? So just that little change of the expression has done so much to it, right? I can redo, right? Yes, it's the same shortcut. Excellent. Let's say if we did that again. What is it again? It's K, yeah. Why K? Let's say if we did it again. Let's change another aspect of the face. Let's change the mouth. So if we kept everything else the same, change the mouth again. Again, shrunk down the jaw. We need that squash and stretch. If you really shrunk down the mouth. If we kept in, look at that difference, right? We take away that little line, add it back in. Those little lines do so much. This feels more like initial shock, or just the kind of like, if I did this. Right? Just kind of feels like the initial thing, right? If we change that, just that little bit. Right? Changing one little aspect of the face at a time can do so much. Let's change this one again. Let's do something else to the eyebrows on this one. Right? So the eyebrows move in 3 parts. Not necessarily. The way that you move your eyebrows is really up to you. The eyebrow itself is technically... I guess you could say that it moves in 3 parts. Like if you have this section here, and this section here. The eyebrow itself is really drawn... Because really this is your... the bridge of your nose. Like the top of your nose up here. When you furrow your eyebrows, there's a little section right there. Really when you draw your eyebrows, it's like 2 sections. So you have like 2/3 are drawn like that, and the other third is like that. So all of your hair will be pointing this way on the inner side, and then your hair will be going the other way at that like 2/3 point. If you didn't know that. With tears? Oh, true, I could do with tears. Yeah. Tears do a lot too. I'm gonna change that one a bit, I guess. Let's change the eyebrows again. Let's do that something a little bit more drastic with the eyebrows here. Now this expression is more lighthearted. Now it's like, oh wait, don't, bro. That's a bad decision, right? This one's like, bro, you murdered my entire family. This one's like, bro, you just did an oopsie, right? It's a little bit more lighthearted. This expression is now more goofy because the eyebrows have shifted a little bit. Oh, actually, hang on. I have a better idea. Which layer is it? I don't remember. There we go. Okay. Whoops. And then it's K. Okay. Let's change the expression here a little bit more drastically. Let's turn these eyebrows even further up. Have it so now there's a gap. Open the pupils up a little bit more. Oops. Does the amount of expression lines in the brows and around the mouth change the intensity? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't add in those little lines, look at this. Hang on. Let's just do that real quick. Let's just remove all of the extra little wrinkles. Watch it. Look at how that stiffens the expression. It really kind of removes a lot of the intensity, right? It's why those lines are so important, because the face will not shift like this without these little lines, right? It changes a lot. Like if I got rid of the lines there, it would look really, really different. Which is why those little wrinkles on the face are so important. Because it can really change a lot. Let's change the jaw again. You can do like an extreme amount of like. And if the corners of the mouth are upturned like that, then the underside of the eyes are gonna be wrinkled in. I usually draw in the upper row of teeth first when I'm drawing an open mouth, like happier expression. I don't know why, it's just how I do it. There's no reason to, it's just I do. So this is a little bit more drastic. Again though, you want to drop the jaw. Don't keep it the same size. Add a pupil back in. That tends to change enough. And then we can draw some tears. A little more relief. If I kept I could keep the eye pupils really, really tiny here too. That would help as well. Keep it a little more intense. Don't forget the furrow a bit there. All right. Still a bit more of an intense expression, but again, changing the curve of the eyebrows a little bit more. You could put a smiling mouth on this expression. Let's just do that. I'm just having fun at this point. But it's really just a demonstration of how to change the expression in like singular ways. It does enough. It's just mostly a demo on how delicate an expression can be, you know? This expression is gonna go from like angry to like crazy. Like snarling. Yeah. And then you show a bit of the gums, which shows that the mouth is opening really crazy wide. If you kind of show bits of the teeth there. What's really cool is if you just have one side of the eye left up there. Yeah. And then don't forget the laugh lines. All right, again, one single change of the expression changes it completely. All right, so really what this shows is just like, you know, changing just like single sections of the face, even really subtle ways. Like these two are very, very subtle, but they're two like pretty well completely different expressions, right? They show off two different emotions completely. Right, these two only have the mouth change between them. These three are only the eyebrows change. That's why it's like I focus on the eyebrows for these three. Right, this one is, you know, mouth and the eyebrows change from the initial. Right, there's a lot of like very subtle things you can do to expressions to make them completely different. And that's why you need to be, you know, able to push them, change where the face wrinkles, change where things will shift and move, and like the best way to do that was observation. Look at your own expressions. A lot of professional animators, what they like to do is like, can I do this? Selected layers, nice. Okay. So what you can do, right, is like you can have a little mirror on the side, really look at yourself, and that tends to help. But yeah, very, very tiny bits of the face will change how it acts. Draw something with fur. Not gonna do that right now. Not a request stream. This is a stream about expressions. Facial hair and wrinkles make expressions hard. If there's a lot of facial hair, yes, for sure. That's why a lot of cartoonists tend to shift around the facial hair to like help it emote. It'll laugh into insanity look like. I guess kind of like that, I suppose. With old people, there would be more wrinkles, right? Not necessarily more so that they would be more permanent. So these laugh lines would not go away on somebody who's older. They would also kind of go down a little bit more. If you want to do like a really kind of like funky expression, you could really exaggerate the laugh lines. Like you could really go like you could really like offended. You can really have fun with it there. But yeah, those laugh lines would not go away. With elders, they would most likely have crow feet on the corners there as well. There'd be lines underneath the eyes more so, right? So on and so forth. Underneath the eyes is one that I've been doing a lot recently. Can't tell if that sound is coming from your mouse or if you're eating chips. Me? It might just be the crunching of my bones. It might also be like A, my chair, or B, it might be me hitting my mic by accident. Forehead wrinkles if the eyebrows are raised, right? Not necessarily. Yes and no. When they're younger, eyebrows raised will not cause an intense amount of wrinkles on the forehead. Yes, they will be, but you don't necessarily have to include it. I find like forehead wrinkles are something that like you can choose because those will not affect your expression. But yeah, younger individuals, you can just leave them out. Very Grinch face jokes. Hello, but welcome in. WPICUI. Whipsy. But yeah, forehead wrinkles are something you can include. I don't always include them. I tend to leave them out when they're younger because it's just not something that's as visible. Furrowed eyebrows, yes, keep them in no matter what. But the forehead wrinkles, it's like when you're younger, they're just not as apparent, so you just don't need to include them. Really. Yes, the crunching of all your bone-like carapace. 100%. Okay. That's gonna do it for the lesson portion, though. I know that the crop in CSP is pretty good. It's just... edit... shrink the crop. Why can't I crop? What do you mean? Can I change canvas size? Can I not do that? Oh, there we go. Can I just do this? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Mediban can't do that. Nice. Okay. Epic. Yeah, usually I can just hit C and then like I can just click and drag. It's fine. Anyway. Yeah. That's going to be the lesson portion. So that means we're going to get into actually drawing a fully fledged expression on the character. Y'all wanted fear. You always want fear. That's something you guys always want is fear. Cool. Rectangle marquee, edit the menu, hit edit. Oh, that's weird. Okay, sure. That works. Thank you. I'm just gonna. Is there a? How come there's no shortcut for change canvas size? I'm gonna change that later. I want a shortcut for that. I wanted anger. I wanted anger too. Why is... What? Why is this rotate, but this is not? That's so strange. Okay, I guess. I should probably change that too, huh? How do I reset it? Or will it be fine if I just save it like this? Hang on. I wanna test this. Okay, there canvas. I don't know. I was trying to see if like the zoom in and out would be the same on like CSPs it was on like other things, but no, it's not the plus and minus. Reset is in the navigator. Is the nav not over here? Window. Navigator. Ah! Excellent. Reset rotation. Nice! Okay, excellent. Why is the navigator like... Can I just put it here? Can I snap it in here? Yes! Okay, excellent. That makes my life easier. There we go. Beautiful. You love to see it. I know that Kyle's pencil doesn't like CSP. Oh, this is Kyle's eraser. Whoopsies. Where is pencil? Yeah, CSP doesn't like Kyle's pencil at all. Yeah, it's not a fan. That's fine. What was I using? It was... textured brush. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll stick with this one, because it seems to be handling us... I'm gonna stick with this one. Okay. Yes, navigator, that's me. Lol. Okay. Yeah. Working with fear, right? And I need to think of like, do I just draw the expression? That's my meme. I'm like, do I actually... What level of fear do I want to do? What's the narrative? This is what I do a lot, is like, if I can't figure out what my actual deal is, then I just change the canvas size until I get something that like feels right to me. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make this a little bit more cinematic, which means that I gotta zoom out, like way out. Oh, it does not like when I zoom out that far. Ooh. Why? 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 Why not? You normally work so fast. Why don't you like it if I zoom out that far? Is it because my brush was that big? You don't like it when my brush is that big? Why? It's okay. Hold Alt and space to zoom with drag. What? That's so strange. Okay, sure. But thank you. I'm absolutely horrified. See, I could do that, but I'm like, I don't have any inspiration for that. I'm kind of feeling something a bit more, like, reserved. I also want to work with head angles. Brush by brush basis. Some aren't great at like 12 by 100. That's annoying. It's the same thing with Photoshop, but usually that's the ones with like a bunch of effects on it. This brush does not have that many effects on it. Like, at all. I feel cheated. It's okay. It's not its fault. Think Scooby Natural. Like Scooby-Doo? I haven't watched Scooby-Doo since I was like 8. I'm 20. It's been a long time. Sneak peek of your CSG. Yeah, it is. Me just getting upset half the time. This is like okay, I have a secret, alright? It's like at the studio, a lot of them are like, oh, Jessie, she can figure out tech really fast. I'm very bad with tech. I'm not that intuitive with tech. I really am not. I feel like I'm quite bad with tech, actually. Do I really have to do the Loomis method? It's annoying. Thought I could have done it without it. It's fine, I suppose. Andrew Loomis saved me once again, I suppose. This is not the angle I wanted. I wanted like an almost profile. I'm like losing what I was gonna do. I wanted like a, not a 7/8, but like even further. But also not a full profile. At least Control T is exactly the same. That's the one that I know. You said Loomis with such disdain. I don't hate Mr. Loomis. I'm just annoyed at him. No. See, the thing is that it's tough to do this one at this angle because I have to worry about the perspective of the eyes along with the expression that I want to give them. Because having them completely open is technically incorrect. But anything. Oh, sorry. And this nose is not supposed to be that pointed. And this is wrong. It should be turned up a little bit more. If I'm really trying to focus on an expression, then I will be like very, very hard focused. Because of the head angle, everything's going to be turned downwards. So that's why I'm like kind of tripping up on the expression here. Thank you. That's the most beautiful. Is it? I think my sneezes just sound really normal. I'm trying to decipher this message. This message. TSKR. All the keybinds are muscle memories. Every time I have to say what one is, I just don't watch what my hand is doing. Understandable. See, like, usually the ones on clip are like, if it's the lasso tool, it's L. If it's the move tool, well, the move tool's weird. Move tool is V on Photoshop, but it's K on here, so I don't get why that's the thing here. And instead of move tool and transform being two separate things, if you hit like V in Photoshop, then you get your transform there as well instantly. Like you can move it around or you could transform. So it's like they're not two separate functions. Oh, there's a oh, sorry. I went back up. Scooby Doo and Super. There was a Supernatural and Scooby Doo crossover a couple years ago. It was super funny. Interesting. If you profile with a hint of eyelash, basically. Yeah, and Lasso, M for Marquee. Yeah, I get that one. K for Cole. I got nothing. Valid. Hello, boyfriend. Welcome in. Looks brilliant. You're just starting it. Thank you. I'm kind of getting tripped up on it. Is there a shortcut for flip, or do I have to set that? Because I had to set that in Photoshop. Can I just flip the entire canvas? Oh, I guess that's a navigator, huh? Yeah, cool. Okay. Now I can zoom in just a smidge more. Yeah, the trick is to like zoom out completely and not worry about little details at first. And then once you kind of got it down packed, then you can zoom in. And that'll help you. Yep, shrimp posture. Let's sit up a bit. I had to set flip horizontal, yeah. That's what it is on a lot of programs. I don't get why you have to set it. It's such a crucial thing. Whoops. My bad. There we go. Do something a bit more. The hardest thing with me with characters with longer hair is like I need to shift the hair in a way or let it fall in a way that makes sense, but not so much to the point where it like gets rid of the or covers up the expression too much because I don't want it to do that. Oh, what? That's the one thing I don't like about a lot of art programs is if you have one shortcut and it can if you have one shortcut it can cycle through a bunch of other tools. I don't like that a lot. A lot of our programs do that. I'm like, no, if I press one thing, I want it to be one thing. Like I can change it, obviously, but it just kind of annoys me. Look at that anguish, thanks man. Yeah. I feast on this emotion. I'm more powerful from watching this. Ah, you and I are one and the same. I feast from anguish. Jesse's live stream. Hey man, I'm okay with it. Y'all can have as many conversations as you like. I have never watched Supernatural. I've heard that it was pretty good. Oh, hello, Jack. Oh yeah, I struggle so much with the hair covering up expressions. It's my agony. My actual agony. Supernatural's very good. Okay, yeah, I heard it was. One thing that I really love on CSP is their liners. I love how well these brushes handle. Like their defaults are amazing. Like when I first got CSP, I was like working with I was just messing around with what brushes they had. This was before you could import Photoshop brushes in. So I was just like working with their defaults. Their defaults are amazing. Like just the hard round is so good. It handles differently than Photoshop does. So it's like I was working with it. And I was like, hey yo. This is the shoulder. Yes. think I've yelled at this man. Yeah, I think you have on multiple occasions. Hello, Cattoons. Welcome in. It's hard to find a middle ground between what looks right and what looks good. Yeah, for like the hair, that's the toughest bit. For expressions, I always tend to go to what looks right, because I sacrifice aesthetic for correctness when it comes to expressions. Oh, let's flip this again. Oof. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. This is actually incorrect. This should be closer to here. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what his outfit looks like. Canon. What his canon outfit looks like. Wait, I have it on my phone for sure. I'm like, I don't draw him in canon very much. Big jokes. Okay, wait. I know I have it here. I drew it once. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. We're getting a bit artsy recently. I mean, jokes, that's probably what it should be. But yeah, the hard round, so nice. And this one, I don't know if I should use hard round. Should I use an inker? Oh, I don't have my textured inker in this one. I didn't transfer it over. How do I import again? Import. Ha! Is it this one? Come on, you can do it. Oh, let's go. Yes, sir. Okay. Eraser, cause eraser. And texture, rough inker. What does the rough inker look like on CSP? Ooh, CSP does not like my inker. Why not? Alright, fine. Yeah, and it does not like my builder at all either. It's a lot of me having to fix those. Sorry. I'm kind of like going through all of them, seeing which ones I can use, which ones I can't. Or not necessarily which ones I can and which I can't, more so like, can I? Hang on. Let's see here. Opacity. Oh. Cool. I think the edge is too soft though. If we went with, sorry, if I'm just kind of going through my brushes right now. Like, don't mind me. You know what? I'll stick with this one. Sure. Oh, I think I've actually yelled at this man. It's been confirmed I've yelled at this man. Okay. Do you entail a story to every character you draw, Jessie? This is not my character, so he already has a story. Need to finish cleaning, so I gotta go. That's okay, Bones Knight. Thanks for joining. Final words before being thrown off a cliff? No, he was, oh, that's spoilers. Mechanical pencil, darker pencil are my go-to defaults for inking lines, yeah. Shriveled hair, look with the anguish expression of Lisa's feeling it appeasing even more. Thank you. You know, I'm thinking that this is kind of what he looks like when it was his first night in the basement. I don't know. Do you lower his ears to work with his character's emotion? I totally would. I'm trying to think. Like, this is incorrect. I would totally. I need to figure out how. I'm hoping that I can figure it out in the time that it takes me to draw this entire expression. Once I get back to it, I'm hoping that I'll have it figured out. Elf ears like dog ears, basically. I love drawing their ears moving. It's the best. Any pointy ears that I get to draw, it's like I like to have them move. Yeah, I like to think that this is what he looked like, what Archibald looked like in the first, like. Oops. What? What? Why isn't that? There we go. So he kind of sat there for a bit, alone with his thoughts. I have a portfolio art to finish, but I'm so tempted to make Vox Machina art. The real thing that you should do is make Vox Machina art for your portfolio, and then pretend that it's not fan art. That's the meme. I'm joking. That's a joke. I've seen the design of some of those characters in Vox Machina, and I'm like, it's like half the reason why I'm considering watching it. Genius. I'll switch the character's hair color. They won't notice the difference. Absolutely. There you go. What time is it? Oh, 5:18. That's not too bad. Anime series is gonna be so good. Yeah, I've heard. Again, if you're more of a cartoonist, you can really mess around with how these peoples work. One of my favorite things to do is to change like to make their shape a bit more jittery. Just to really illustrate jittery eyebrows. Or jittery pupils. I do like how CSP's made this brush really soft. It's very charcoaly looking, which is like not the intention for this brush at all, but like it kind of looks good. It looks like willow charcoal. I could push that more. Hoi, hello, funny cut, welcome in. It's funny that there was a raid last week, and like apparently the guy wasn't even. I don't think you can't raid other YouTube channels. There's no raids on YouTube. Unless I'm dumb and there actually are. I love your rough line work style. It looks cool. Thank you. Yeah, my rougher lines. I love doing rougher lines if A, I'm trying to work faster, B, if like I want that more disheveled look. It's good to switch up your work sometimes. Pressure over here sucks. It's like I do need to zoom in a lot for some of this. I keep using your art as my Starlost reference, and the canon outfits are mystery to me at the moment. Oh no. And then I reference Ray's art to get the proper canon outfits. When I do draw the canon outfits. See, there is that lineup in the official Discord, though, so you could straight up just use that. Look at you've done, Jess. Modern AU takes over. This is just what we're gonna live with. Everyone's okay. Everyone is okay. A game of design telephone. True. That's not canon to now. That's canon from episode 1. Yeah. It's okay, but like, it's fine. It's fine. It's like, well, okay. I have some other references that are like more canon to now as well. Yes, we do need to play Gartic Phone. That'd be so much fun. Stream it. If you're zoomed in when working, make sure that you zoom out pretty often. It's good to always check, and then also to turn off your sketch layer to make sure that you're checking, and then also flip your canvas. There's a lot of checks that you gotta do as an artist. It might also help to actually just straight up draw in the flipped view for a bit. That usually helps your overall quality of works, and you get different angles of what you're looking at constantly. So you can fix them around and whatnot. Should I do that? Should I like... I could very much do this, and then I could do like the... Again, don't be afraid of teeth. Teeth do a lot. Always have, like, draw in, like, not every single tooth. Unless if you're working with horror, then you want to draw every single tooth, because that really helps with the unsettling factor. But if you're just drawing, like, teeth, draw in a few bits of them, because it'll help kind of accentuate their shape. That means that this portion is wrong. That's not too bad. I'll fix it later. Gartic Phone is amazing. It's so fun. Oh, I thought when drawing eyebrows not cartooning, you had to actually draw every hair in the eyebrow until I learned you don't need to do that. No, good lord. Give me anxiety that I stopped drawing faces. A whole character with no face. Oh, I used to do that too, but it was just because I wasn't confident enough in my realism skills. So a lot of the times I would leave out the face, because I could do the body perfectly fine. It was the face. I still kind of get messed up on the face when I work in realism, which is something I need to get over. So it's gonna be a lot of me like putzing around in that aspect. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work. Zooming out, what the most important thing is that I learned. I spend too much time on things literally no one would ever see. Yeah, 75% people view on Twitter with their phones on IMAX screen. Yep. I give as many characters fangs as I possibly can. I would give so many more characters fangs if like I didn't work within like non-fantasy so much. Like you know how I draw him. I'm a very big fan of teeth. I'm a really, really big fan of drawing teeth. So it's like the more interesting teeth that a character has, the more fun I have with them. Easily. Especially fangs. Fangs or something. It's like I will highlight fangs very frequently. If you tell me that somebody has fangs, I will highlight that all the time. It's like, oh, they've got sharp canines. Understood. It's like every drawing that I will draw of that person, I'll make it obvious that they have fangs. It's 5:26, huh? It's not too bad. It's just a lot of lining right now. With more delicate lining, I try to focus a bit more certain areas. The thing with elf ears is like it's really just like the human ear, but like extended. So I have to work with that anatomy, and that can be a bit tough sometimes. You said it was alt space? Yeah. A big fan of drawing a teeth, a big fan of going to the dentist. Do you want to just be a dentist? No. I've seen what they do. I don't want to have to deal with like other people's teeth like in real life. I wouldn't mind having a set of teeth, like another one. Cool. Thank you. Welcome in, Loretana Mystery. Oh boy, this hairline is always the trick for me. Yes, sir. There we go. I was like, what's missing? Something's wrong. Forgot the Cupid's bow. Forgot the Cupid's bow. My bad. Okay. Big jokes, big jokes. Wouldn't mind another set of teeth. You know, like I have a lot of bones on, so you know this. I just have like a lot of bones around my room. I wouldn't mind like one of those plastic sets, you know, like the fake ones. Great reference. Oh, hello, hello. We say hello to everyone in here. Why teeth though? I love teeth. It's very, very fascinating to me. I like the way that they. You know, I don't really have an explanation for it. I just really like teeth. I think the fascination began in high school. And they've just been a big point of just something that I love to draw. Especially with horror. Teeth can make all the difference. But they shouldn't be sharp in horror. If you actually want it to be unsettling, they should be like perfect. What is the brush's name, by the way? Your drawings is so it's on fire. Real Gucci. Thank you, sir. Who is this? This is not this is Archibald. He's a character from a D&D campaign. Star Lost Seas. But not Gums. No, Gums too squishy. I like the teeth, like the bones. Like, I would add in Gums as Gums are fantastic for like in terms of illustration. I love Gums for really showing off different bits of the teeth. But teeth themselves, like I don't want Gums on my shelf. Like I don't. Teeth are just fascinating. When you draw on your teeth in horror, it's usually better to make them look like really crazy perfect because it makes them really unsettling. This is wrong. It doesn't flow properly. This is a delicate process. I'm drawing with single hairs. Look for a second. That's all good. And what's my brush name? Sorry, I forgot to ask. I forgot to tell you. This brush is a custom. I literally don't know what it's called. Like, I've had it here as textured painting too. I didn't buy it from anywhere. It was like a. It was given to me. I don't know where they got it from though. My old prof just gave us his like brush set, so we all just had access to it. Okay. I don't know how far back the history goes, because I don't like how I drew this hair at all. I'm gonna fix it again. Please give me enough backspaces, because I literally don't know how far it goes. Come on, don't fail me. Come on. Yes, sir. Okay, that's what we like to see. You see, Oz, that's why I need 700 undos. You didn't feel fluid enough. I'm doing hair. I need it to feel natural. So I think if you draw the separation for each of the teeth, it's a lot creepier. Yes, if you, hang on. Anyway, normal teeth and unnatural mouth, unhinged jaw. You could definitely do an unhinged jaw. Sometimes it's creepier if it's just like a really normal looking smile, and then you put in too many teeth. You kind of. You know? Just pretend that I did that properly. But yeah, like if you have like all of them in there, usually helps. I'm glad that like backspace and delete work the same way in CSP because backspace does not work in Medibang. If I want to delete something, oh shoot, I'm wearing eyeliner. It's just rubbing my eye. Man, it's fine. I gotta remove it anyway. Not bad though. This is good quality eyeliner. It held up. I was rubbing my eye like crazy. Dang. All right. What was I saying? um, teeth. Yes. When you're doing them like horror, it's usually better to draw every single one. It really helps with the unsettlingness. I think we know why everyone votes for you to draw scary things. Yeah, like I know why. But sometimes I'm like, I want to draw something else. A spooked expression does not necessarily mean I'm going to draw something scary. Or fear. I think fear is just something people struggle with a lot. Oops. Literally my hand, like my move shortcut works on my tablet on CSP. I don't know why I go to the spacebar. Come on. Come on. There we go. Nope. Come on. There we go. I've been drawing so many brushes for so long, I don't know the provenance of any of them understood. I don't tend to collect brushes. I get them when I need them. I don't know why the hair is looking so rope-like right now. That's what happens if I try to like have too much control with the hair. Okay, stabilization has to be in here, right? Correction. Now, why is correction like... Why is it like separate? I don't like that much. That's better. Liquefying the eyebrows fun. Just nudging it slightly into different expressions. Yeah, that's a fun one. That's good. I tend to try and get the expression good on the first try, so I don't tend to liquefy the expression itself. I usually just use liquefy to fix my proportions. Oh shoot, I genuinely didn't know about backspace. We need to delete for that. Really? I've been so used to backspace for so long that like when like I tried it in Medibang and it was like, oh yeah, backspace does not exist here. I was like, excuse me. It's like, what do you mean no backspace? A window brush. I'm sure it'll need 25 of these eventually, said Oz, who doesn't draw cities. Yeah. Keep forgetting that I have buttons on my tablet. One of them is my undo, which thanks to you is my go-to instead of erasing. Yes, sir. Having a grand time watching you draw, Jessie, while eating shawarma. Let's go. Running away from my workload. This is my work, so I'm kind of stuck here. But I'm glad you're having fun watching me draw my brain rot. Yeah. Probably would have been drawing him if I wasn't streaming. Anyway. I miss him. Give him back. I want him back. Medibang's got undo though. It does. Medibang's undo is... It's fine. There's a lot of, like... Okay, I don't mind Medibang. I think Medibang's fine. As somebody who's worked with more advanced programs, though, it's missing a lot compared to, like, the stuff that I work with. That's to be expected, though. It is, like, a beginner program. I don't expect it to work as nicely as, like, say, Photoshop and or CSP, right? I'd take CSP and or Photoshop over Medibang any day. Just because I started in Photoshop, and then I worked, you know, and then I started working on Clip as well. And it's like I'm used to these really big, crazy UIs and whatever. And there's a lot more here. So there's nothing wrong with Medibang, it's like there's a lot that's missing. I think Oz said that to me. It was like yeah, I was using Medibang and there was just a lot that was not there. I was like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. So it's great for beginners. It's a nice, simple program. And if you're using it for the first time, it's great. If you're using it as your first time program, it's fantastic. But as someone who's a little bit more seasoned, it's like it's not really ideal for me personally. You should watch draw more often. Yes. I need to, yeah, I should watch more artists more often, to be fair. I actually don't watch a lot of artists. That's something that, like, people expect me to do. It's like, Jesse, what artist YouTube channels do you recommend? And I'm like, I don't really watch anybody. Like, a lot of the times, like, what I learned from, like, how I learned art was, like, I learned digital art through some speed paints, but even then, like, I mostly taught myself. And then, like, come on, save. And then, I learned art any other way through, like, books or just kind of understanding what I was looking at a lot of time. Observation. Because I know a lot of my friends or, like, other digital artists are like, oh yeah, I grew up on, like, Draw with Jazza or Cynic's Design or, I don't remember his name. It starts with a P. Doll making. Yep, doll making's how I really honed in on design and anatomy for sure. But yeah, no, I didn't watch any, like, illustrators a lot. Now every once in a while I'll watch like Proco, that's what I'm thinking of. I'll watch like a Proco or Cynic's video. That's really it. Like, I won't watch a lot of anyone else. I'm not even subscribed just because I don't watch them that often. I don't usually like sitting through a tutorial. That's up to you though, like what you like to do, you know? Everybody learns differently and at different paces. Spend a ton of time watching art videos. Probably more time than I spend drawing, which I've been trying to fix. Skyrim, Cynics, and Proco are the entirety of your art education. Valid. Yep, a lot of me was just kind of vibing and teaching myself. Okay, this is definitely incorrect. Oh, I'm so used to that shortcut. Probably have to. I'll set it later. Don't tell anybody the reason that I draw Archibald in the beanie so much is because I don't like drawing his head. It's because his hair is so hard. I can't make sense of it. Love in the mouth and the eyes. Thank you. I'm doing my best. I'm struggling with this hair, though. This might end up being a black and white one. That's fine. I'll just render it out a bit. Oh, thank God. I was like, I thought I did it on the wrong layer. I was like, what? Which I would be able to point out because, like, it's a different opacity. That's another thing. If you mix up your, like, what brush is on what layer, or, like, what layer each thing is on, and, like, you accidentally draw on the wrong layer all the time, literally just change the opacity of your sketch layer, and if you draw on it, then you'll know because the color that you're working with is not the same. Or lock it. Some people just, like, lock it so they can't draw on it at all. That's better practice, like, to actually just lock it. So that way you just can't touch it at all. They're vibed with art books, to be honest. Been reading through Loomis's recently. It doesn't click as well. I can't watch them do it. Yeah. Same, but I have an excuse that my tablet isn't synced with your computer. Control B to sketch layer. Control B. What does that do? What's this? Oh, change layer color. Gotcha. That's funky. Usually I like it when my sketch is just pure gray, though. You can probably change it. I used to have them as, like, super bright colors, and now I just keep my sketches at, like, really, really dull blue or gray. Time is it? 5:43. It's not too bad. I've never been able to read through a Loomis book either, don't worry. When I say that I learned through books, I mean I looked at pictures from books, and that's how I learned. I didn't actually read anything, and I still haven't to this day. And all of my, like, classmates are like, Jessie, what do you mean you haven't read? So on and so forth. And I'm like, because I just didn't bother to. And I'm like, mate, I just, like, you know, I just look at the pictures. Usually with me, it's like, I'll look at the picture, I'll kind of stare at it for a bit, and then I'll go, okay. And I'll, like, try to understand what I was looking at, and that's how I'll learn. Like, I don't really read any explanations. Like, I give myself a bit of a rule set, and then that's how I work. Play something else. See you tomorrow. See ya! Thanks for popping in. Wait. Yeah. We've got, like, 16 minutes left. You're all good, though. You can always rewatch it. You did a hair live stream. Did I? We did a hair video. That wasn't me, though. That was Alyssa. Did we do a hair live stream? Daria, did we do a hair live stream? I know we have a video. Morpho books are basically entirely pictures. The only reason I think they're good. Oh yeah, no, the Morpho books are great. One day I'll actually sit down and look through one. That'll be the day. I'm trying to think of what angle I'm doing here. Sorry. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how this is working. Because I'm like, man. What angle is this going at right now? Yes? Yeah, not bad. I have to, if it's curled around here, then it's gonna have to curl around the back of the ear like this. Yep. Why does it take so long to save? Okay. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay? No. Let's... It'll have to do because I don't have that much time left, so I'm just gonna like add some values and that's gonna be my thing. You don't think we did hair yet? No? Yeah, that's what I think. I know we have like live streams for it, but like, or like, I know we have videos for it, but I don't think we actually have the thing. Then again, I started by copying or trying to drawing some Spider-Man. Valid, yeah. Have you seen Attack on Titan? Just to finish the manga and I'm upset that people diss the art. I don't mind the art in Attack on Titan. I think that it's alright. Attack on Titan I was really into for a while. And then I got onto like the part where like it gets like really political for like 50 chapters. I was like, I'm so bored, so I just dropped it. And I never had the want to get back into it. I know how it ends. Like I had a friend of mine, or my best friend, she told me exactly how it ended. She showed me screenshots. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But like I'm not gonna bother to read it. I know I won't. It's coming really good. Thank you. She got a decent number of sketches on this live stream. Decent for me at least. Nice. Love to see it. Weird question, what's the aesthetic color for fear? Like the color you choose for comics to emphasize on fear. Blue's also sad. I don't use anything. Usually when I work with fear is less about color and fear is more with context. Any color, of course there's color psychology with everything. We did this in a color theory video. We did this in a live stream. Or no, I taught this as a lesson. That's right. I didn't do this in a live stream. I did this in a lesson in a class. When you're working with color, for me, I don't tend to pick color based on like what was it? Control shift? It's shift. Thank you. I don't tend to pick color based on the psychology as much. I tend to pick it based on the context. So like if depending on what the scene is, then I'll pick the color based on that. Can I expand? Yeah. I too. Nice. Control shift I? Yes, sir. No? Yes, sir. That's what we love to see. Is Paint Bucket P? No. Is it still G? Yes, sir. I should be the first one. I'll change that later. Nice. That filled in nicely. But yeah, there's color psychology for everything. But it shouldn't be something that you rely on. A lot of the times when I pick colors, it tends to be like... Oh shoot, did it do like... Oh man, whoops. Okay, wait. How's the paint bucket? How do I... Can I fix this? For multiple? Woo! Okay. Yeah, I tend to pick based on just what works for the situation. And it's like... It's hard to say what's right because there isn't a right one. There is no right color for anything. It's based on preference. It's based on what you want to portray. Oh, where's my... Oh, that feels better. Yeah, that's probably the best explanation I can give. Is just like, do what you want mostly, but make sure that the color that you're picking is intentional in terms of like fear is so open of a concept that there's so much that you could do with it, to the point where there is no right or wrong answer with how you choose to handle it. Oh boy, this is not going to fill in right. Nope, I figured it wouldn't. It's okay. Can I lock this? Yeah. See, fear within dark, claustrophobic drawings, or for most of my fear-related drawings involve tight spaces. Yeah, it depends on what you're going for. Fear for me, I always think in a more cinematic sense. I like to, when somebody's afraid, I like to add in a lot of angles, Dutch angles. Intense foreshortening tends to be a big one. Close-up shots to heighten the emotion, so on and so forth. Color depends on setting for me. I wasn't gonna do this whole value thing. I was gonna just add like shadows, and that was gonna be it. What am I doing? It's like, it'll be faster if I only do that. Let's just like, oh, why am I? Come on. Yep. Okay. The concept of foreshortening is pretty scary. Yes, foreshortening is the best. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That was awkward. Ugh. My entire body just kind of left me for a second. Foreshortening rules. It's so fun. Who exactly are you drawing? This is Archibald. He's from a D&D campaign called Star Lost Seas. Best boy. Best boy. I miss him. He's not dead. Hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. It's been a while. I miss my baby. Anyway. Yeah, so all I'm just kind of doing now is refining these shadows a bit. There should be actually, hang on, I realize I'm doing this wrong. There should be an extra edge here. Because, can I like, I can't just keep that on here. I have to like go into that menu every time. Okay. The foreshortening strategy is just to look at the drawing really hard, and eventually you'll figure it out. I tend to think in value, in forms. There should be a specific forum every time that I work with foreshortening. The Rembrandt triangle, as I recently learned it's called. Yes, this little thing. It's my favorite thing ever. It works every time. It looks amazing. The Rembrandt triangle is your best friend. It literally makes everything look like 20 times better all the time. Da, da, da. Turn that back on. Can't wait for your foreshortening stream. Hopefully I'll make it. Yeah. That one I'm gonna have to make notes for, because as much as I love foreshortening, I do tend to struggle when teaching it. So I need to refine myself. That one tends to be something that I struggle a bit with in terms of teaching, because the way that I actually do it is very, very non-linear. So it tends to be kind of tough to teach. Oh gosh. Coil and pray. Coil and pray. I don't really coil as much as I used to. I find that coiling tends to make it a bit less accurate, but, like, depends. It's funny, I was thinking earlier I wanted to watch tonight's stream, and then my middle school art teacher showed us your forms video. Yep. That forms video was fun. Planning it was fun. Forms are important. And don't forget your smidge of bounce light, which just makes everything look better. It's 4 a.m. here. I'm the only soul awake in my house. Understood. Yeah, I'm usually, so if I have nothing going on, I am awake at 4 a.m. as well. I've been awake at 4 a.m. pretty often recently, actually. Because Pokemon will never let me sleep. But I say worth it. Oh gosh, it's 6:01. I'm almost done. Oh, actually, no. This should be more translucent here. Because they're ears. And this should be slightly lighter for the rim lighting. Trying to fix my sleep schedule. Same. When classes start to get back into in person, I'm gonna lose it. This drawing looks awesome. Thank you. Except for the other invisible members of my house. Understood. It's 9 a.m. where you are. Sheesh. Oh, so that means you woke up at like 7. Sheesh. Gross. I only wake up at 7 if I have a class. No. Usually looks better if there's like really subtle gradients on a lot of things. Like even if it's not like super noticeable, it usually looks better than just keeping it completely flat. Especially in areas of the face like cheekbones or like the forehead, bottom of the nose, stuff like that. Usually you want the chin a little bit lighter, because that's actually a really huge source of ambient occlusion. Or sorry, subsurface scattering. Wrong term. This is subsurface on the thinner areas. If you didn't know, tip of the nose and the bottom of the chin tend to be really strong points of subsurface. Okay. Okay, hang on. A little bit here, and then I'm good. And then I'm gonna call it quits. Just make the lines a little bit less abrasive in some areas. Okay. It's just the little things that tend to just help. If you zoom out, you can still generally see the forms. That tends to be what you want. If you can still generally kind of tell what's happening, if you zoom out, you've won. Shadow under the nose? No. It's going to be a little bit of well, because the lighting's coming from back here. There isn't going to be a shadow under the nose as heavily because this entire side of the face is already under shadow. The light art kind of does the ambient occlusion shadows. What's actually happening is there's a bit of bounce light coming from down here. So there's actually going to be a little bit of light underneath the nose instead of shadow. Based on how I've kind of planned it out a smidge. I can actually make this more intense. Sorry. I'm just kind of going a little overboard on this one. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily need it. If there is going to be a shadow under the nose, it's going to be like really, really like minor. Just like that. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's not going to be anything intense. That shadow under the nose is really only like if there's like a good amount of light coming from above. Okay. Looks great. Thank you. I should go to sleep until 7. Move my sleep schedule from waking up at 5 a.m. every day. Not fun. Gross. Okay. That's gonna do it for this stream, though. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I had a lot of fun doing this illustration. Thanks so much for joining again. If you don't know too much about the studio, we're not just a YouTube channel, we're also an art studio. So if you'd like to check out the classes that we offer, be sure to check them out on our website. There you can see the classes that we offer. Right now, I am teaching mentorship, I'm teaching art mentorship for digital illustration, cartooning and anime, and digital art. So if you'd like to check those out, those are happening. I believe March Break Camp's registration is going to be happening soon. So if you'd like to check that out, be sure to check that out on the website as well. This file that you see in front of you, along with this lesson, these are both going to be available on our Discord as JPEGs. If you'd like to join our Discord, that's going to be links that Daria can kind of upload right there and right now. Discord, come chat with us. Come talk with the other art nerds. Come join us. We'll be able to see what's happening over there, and you'll be able to download this file as a JPEG, all for you. But if you want my working files, this one has like 3 layers, so you don't have to. This will be posted up anyway. But if you'd like any of my working files, you're gonna have to join our Patreon, $5 a month. If you join for $5, you'll get any of my working files. $2 will be just our behind the scenes, but $5 will get you 1 working file a month. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, y'all. I believe next week isn't it foreshortening? That's what next week is. Let's see. I don't really remember. Yeah, foreshortening's next week. So if you'd like to come back, learn a bit about foreshortening, join us then. But yeah, thanks so much, y'all. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.